Guys, what's going on today? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Verse out here. In this video, I'm going to be talking about some spoilers and predictions for Boruto chapter 56. Now, there are some spoilers out. Now, it's all writing spoilers. There's no actual pictures. That's probably going to be tomorrow. I also want to state that there will be no visual in this. This is all just a text and talk video, as the spoilers are coming out tomorrow, or maybe by the time this is up in a couple of hours. And yeah, let's get down to it. So this post here, it shows a bunch of points of what chapter 56 will discuss. Now, it doesn't say what they're going to say in the manga, but they're talking about what is going to be shown in the manga. So let's start off with the top point. It says Sumire has a solo feature on the color cover page. Alright, now I'm going to get to that as a prediction in the future and how the anime manga have been hinting a lot of stuff lately after Kishimoto got back. So there's a reason why she's on the cover page. Second, Kawaki's arm has been restored to normal functionality by Amato and checkups with Sumire. Again, that's with regarding episode 190, 191, and chapter 44, and a little later chapters when Amato talks. This is all, like I said, it's all correlation between the anime and the manga and why they're giving Sumire a lot of time. Just like how they gave Code a lot of anime time to explain his role in the manga. Otherwise, we would not even know why Ishiki appeared in front of Code in the manga. And then it says Shikamaru has determined that Team 7 should no longer partake in missions. So that means Team 7's no longer going to be in missions. I guess the reason is Kawaki and Boruto, they're both really dangerous. Well, I don't know about Kawaki now, but you can say Boruto is dangerous. And I think what they're going to do is they're going to swap roles. As I stated back in my previous videos when I first made the channel regarding opening number 7 and opening number 8, how Kawaki and Boruto might switch roles and Boruto might leave the village or might go on training and Kawaki's going to be the new member of Team 7. It might be something similar to that, because it says Shikamaru has determined that Team 7 should no longer partake in missions. The only person that's dangerous from there is Boruto. Kawaki's karma seal is gone. Yes, he has 80% Otsutsuki, but at the same time, he's able to do missions and everything. So Kawaki might stay there, but it's because of Boruto. He's dangerous. And he could transform any second. They don't want him taking part in missions, since he could hurt either of his team members and everything. Right here, the next part is Sarada, Mitsuki, Shikadai, Inoji, and Chocho have a frank discussion about Boruto. Now, I think what they're talking about is how Boruto won't be included in any more missions and how Boruto is dangerous and how his chakra levels could go low. He could transform any second. I guess his teammates going to be worried and probably going to figure out that, if we ever do go with him anywhere, they always got to be prepared for the worst. And they got to give Boruto chakra if anything happens. So they all talk about Boruto and how, if anything goes wrong, they always got to be ready. Now, I think they're going to say Kawaki's going to be joining Team 7 and Boruto's going to be taken out. And I'll get to that point afterwards as well. Like I said, I'm going to do a bit of predictions on based on these points. So the next part is Kawaki suggests that Boruto should implant karma onto Code so he could reincarnate. That part I don't understand on why Kawaki would suggest that. I guess to get rid of Boruto's karma and they could kill Code at the same time. I guess that's one of the reasons. But if Code is powerful, then I don't know how they're going to do this. The next one is Code was the only other kid who survived Jigen's baptism from the same batch as Kawaki. That means they were both tested at the same time. It's probably why Code kind of hates Kawaki and he gives him kind of weird attitude, or like the way Jigen gives him more of the attention. Like I said, most of it's showing the anime and why Code is like that if you look carefully. So the next thing says Code's karma can only be used for its weaponry attributes and not as a vessel. So that means if Kawaki's suggesting that Boruto implant karma onto Code so he can reincarnate, that doesn't even make any sense then. How does that work then? If it's not a vessel, then it's only a weaponry attribute. But it says Code's karma, so his karma, it could be different. And it's possible he could have two karmas. We don't know. Code's karma can be used for its weaponry attributes. That means, I guess, how Kawaki and Boruto have power from their karmas, and I guess they could absorb attacks. I'm assuming his is it's the opposite. And if you think about it, it's like a black hole and white hole. A black hole sucks in everything. A white hole sends everything out. And Kawaki's karma is white, as it's called the white karma seal. And that means it probably sends all the attacks outwards rather than sucking inwards. And Kawaki and Boruto's karma is black, meaning it sucks everything in. It's like Code pays a visit to an establishment that's home to Boro's religious organization. Now, if you watch the anime, episode 183, they mentioned something about Boro and how he's a man chosen by God. So I guess that's why, they say that Boro's a religious organization. Like I said, the anime gives more context to the manga, because like I said, without the anime, we wouldn't have some context on the manga with these new chapters and everything coming out. Code's fingers morph into like a Wolverine claw when karma is activated. Damn. So you already know what that means. I think he's gonna take Boruto's eye. Alright, I have a feeling he's gonna take Boruto's eye with that. I'll get to some predictions right after that. Code can extend his black studded belt material and use them like gateways/thin portals in battle for sneak attacks. So I think that's the belt and stuff on his head. That was kind of a weird looking belt leg. I thought about that. I'm like, why does his head look so funky? Then I know why, because he has that weird belt thing on his head. And now they explained what that is. Code is the only cyborg who was modified by Amato with a limiter in order to suppress his overwhelming powers. Oh, damn. So you're saying Code is strong as fuck. Damn, okay. Amato has made many other cyborgs who surpassed Jigen's power. However, Jigen ordered him to dispose of them. Yeah, I can see that. Now, the reason I say the wording to this, it says Jigen's powers, not Ishiki. Jigen is the body which holds Ishiki inside. So if it passes Jigen's power, then that's Jigen's body, not Ishiki. That means Ishiki is still stronger than all these guys, not just Jigen. Jigen was still pretty strong. He took Sasuke and Naruto together. He's still pretty OP, and he went right through Sasano. So Jigen's pretty OP. Don't get me wrong with that. But when they said there's people stronger than Jigen, I guess that was due to the fact that Jigen's that body could not beat those guys, and I guess he didn't want to feel threatened in case that model tries going against him. And it says Code was not disposed due to his loyalty to Jigen and admiration of the Otsutsuki. I guess that's why when Ishiki appeared in front of Code, he was talking about, the god of Otsutsuki and all sorts of that type of stuff. I guess that's why Code, looks at Otsutsukis like that. I guess he wanted to become one. Boro secretly stored away those other cyborgs instead of letting them get destroyed. So that means Boro had a second plan as well. So everyone in Karma has something different. Now, if you think about it, Ishiki or Jigen did say that everyone's wish will come true. Now, I wonder what everyone's wishes were, if you look at it. I guess Code wanted to become the perfect Otsutsuki, or did he want to become an Otsutsuki? I guess that's what his wish was. Amato, we don't know what Amato's wish is. I guess something to do with Delta, because the way he looks at Delta before him and Kashin Koji disappear from the base, he looks at Delta and he gives her like a weird look, and she's like, you're creeping me out. So I guess his wish is something to do with her, and I'm guessing Boro's is what to do with the dolls. He might be trying to do some FMAB type of stuff, and he's trying to become like God and trying to summon his own beings, and trying to give life to those cyborgs. The next part is Code directly asked Bug for a cyborg named Ada, who apparently knows everything about this world. Now, Ada, we don't know who that is though, and a Bug. That means 2 new characters that are going to be said. Now, with the name Ada, I'm assuming from Ada Wong from Resident Evil. So we don't know who this is. I know that's out of nowhere, but when I hear the name Ada, I think of Ada Wong from all the Resident Evil series. But yeah, they're going to show somebody named Ada who knows everything about this world. That means there's somebody else besides Orochimaru that knows a lot about the world. Because remember, Orochimaru wanted to know everything about the world after the war. And even during and before the war, the 4th war, he wanted to know about the world. But at this point, in Boruto, he wanted to know more about why the world was, what the world is, and all sorts of that stuff. This is the other person who probably knows more than Orochimaru. Naruto called for a 5K summit to share their new intel with other villagers. Damn. So they're finally doing another 5K summit. I don't know how the timeline works in this, but Naruto called a cage summit as well when Kawaki was first apprehended by the village, which I'm assuming, which was about 20 plus chapters ago. But in their timeline is about, I think, a week. And this is Boruto has decided that he's going to go for training. Boruto has decided that he's going to start training up immediately to defeat Code. That means Code appears in front of Boruto. And there's a reason why Kawaki suggests that Boruto should implant the karma onto Code as well. So they're basically hinting it. And Boruto's gonna go do his training. I guess he's gonna get stronger now. And I guess during the training, or maybe after training, he gets a scar in his eye. We're not sure about it. But now we're nearing the time skip. That means this chapter, they're gonna go through all this. Next chapter, they're gonna end the whole thing there and be like, all right, we're gonna do a time skip from here. So that means everyone's gonna set out to train. I guess that's why another part in this is where Harada, Mitsuki, and Dum, they have a frank discussion about Boruto. I guess they're going to talk about how Boruto's going to go on training, and I guess they're all going to try doing their own training as well. In case Boruto ever loses control, they could, be there to help him. Because they are his friends after all. So now time to give some predictions. Now, on why Samir has the solo feature of the color cover page. They're giving her a bigger role in this. Now, what I mean by that is the anime and manga have quite a bit of correlation ever since Kishimoto came back. After episode 179 in all 180s, they've been giving a lot of hints and more details on the Kara members than what we've seen in the manga. A good example of that is Code. There's a reason why they were showing Code all throughout those episodes, in the beginning episodes of the anime. Because in the manga, at chapter 55, at the end of it, you can see Code with his white karma seal. If Ishiki appeared in front of him and told him all this stuff, and Code's like, I'm gonna go on revenge, that would have made no sense. You know, you'd think like, why would Code go through all this trouble to get revenge for him when he doesn't even know, like, you know, Ishiki that well? But the anime gives more points to that. The anime shows that Code actually looked up to Ishiki in a father figure way. That's why in the anime he kept showing, you know, areas where he wanted Jigen's attention and he wouldn't give it to him. But instead, Kawaki received, you know, all the special treatment. So that's why, you know, they predicted that. They kind of showed that. So that's why the anime and the manga are close like that, where they're predicting all that stuff in the anime. They're basically showing you everything in the anime before it happens in the manga and why stuff happens in the manga. Same thing goes back to Boro and his religious thing. They said Boro with him being chosen by God in episode 183, and then they talk about it in this chapter where it's a part of a religious group. You know, that they're basically foreshadowing quite a bit of stuff. And then now same thing with Samir and Kawaki. There's a reason why Samir is with Kawaki. Even the second point, it says Kawaki's arm has been restored to normal functionality by Amato and checkups with Samire. There's a reason why Samir is with him. Now the first thing is, if you watch episode 190, you can see Samir and Kawaki. They're shown in this episode together. They're basically giving them a future relationship. Like, I know everyone's gonna say, oh, they're only giving them screen time. How are you calling it a relationship? The reason it actually shows in other chapters of the manga. Now what I mean by that is, when Nu bit Kawaki's arm, he got up and he's like, you're a monster just like me. And Sumire is surprised that Kawaki said that to her. And then she has a flashback of Kawaki saying that again to her. And then she's like, we must go after him. There's no reason for her to go after Kawaki unless something triggered her. All right, when he said we're monsters, because remember, she was considered a monster too by her parents. She has no parents either. She was considered a dangerous tool, and she has nobody else, which is why her and Kawaki relate the best with each other. And then at the end of episode 190, she goes after Kawaki, she gets injured. Now, if you go to the Boro scenes of the Boro fight in chapter 40s to 43, you can tell Kawaki, you know, fought Boro. But when he came back, Sumire was with him alongside his bed. Now, that's another foreshadowing that they're going to end up together, or they're going to be shown more together. Like, she basically tends Kawaki's wounds, and Kawaki's not hostile towards her. If you look carefully, Kawaki's actually open. Even Dr. Katsuki is there with her, which, you know, it shows why, you know, Sumire is getting more screen time. And the same thing goes when Amato comes. When Amato comes, it's only Kawaki, Boruto, and Sumire. If you notice, Mitsuki or Sarada's not there, so they didn't get all that information on what Amato was telling them. Only Kawaki, Sumire, and Boruto know what happened in that room, alongside with Naruto, you know, Shikamaru and them. But in terms of the kids, the other guys weren't there. It's only, you know, them. And they're giving Samir all that information. Even though it's highly classified, they're giving her that information. So that means she plays a way bigger role in this than you'd expect. And then judging by this, it says checkups with Samir. That means Samir, because Samir being, you know, a scientific member, she checks out with Kawaki, since Kawaki's body is all scientific stuff, you know? And that's why they give her a cover page. Now, I feel like they're hinting something even bigger, that something might happen with Samir with the cover page. Like I said, if you look at the anime with the last 10 episodes to the manga with the latest manga chapters, they're hinting a lot of stuff back and forth. All right, first they did it with Code, and I guess Kodachi did this back with Kurama and Momoshiki, when Momoshiki's like, it's a shame, Fox, you won't be able to send, you know, your power to the next generation. I guess that predicted, you know, that. But now they're showing Sumire. There's a reason why she's being shown. Even in the anime, they're giving her more screen time with Kawaki, which, like I said, that stuff's not even in the canon manga. So if you look carefully, they're giving her screen time for a special reason, meaning she plays a bigger role. Now, what I think is, something happens to her, or Code hurts her, something like that, and Kawaki maybe takes revenge on the village or whatever, and that's why he says the age of shinobi's over. Maybe, you know, her being a scientific ninja tool member, she knows something with scientific stuff that, you know, shinobis don't need no more chakra and stuff like that. You know, I guess that's why Kawaki is more biased in that direction. He's like, the age of shinobi's over. I know there's ups and downs to that, even in the beginning, because Boruto, you can hear Boruto's voice says the age of shinobi's over, then you hear Kawaki say the age of shinobi's over. It's kind of weird, you know, like, we don't know what's up, but we're going to see it in the future to come. But yeah, I feel like something happens with Sumire once her and Kawaki get really, real close to each other. Like I said, they were late and everything, and I guess that leads to the downfall of the village. We're going to see what happens in that. And then for the last part where it says Boruto goes to train, you know, he's going to immediately fight Code, or he goes to train immediately, meaning he's scared of Momoshiki. Even in chapter 55, we saw that he's scared of Momoshiki appearing. That means they're trying to show stuff happens to Boruto, and he's going to mature. He's going to get more mature. Because if you look at the beginning of Boruto all the way to chapter, 30s or all the way up to chapter 30s, he's all, you know, like, bright. He's all bright-minded and everything. And then after chapter 40s, he started going dark. Now, what I mean by that is, after he transformed into Momoshiki, he didn't know he transformed until, you know, they tell him that he transformed, and then him and Sasuke are talking to each other, and Sasuke's like, you know, what if, you know, you turn into that next time and stuff like that. And then, you know, that's when Sasuke's like, you know, I'll kill you or whatever if that happens. You know, that after that point, you could tell Boruto would start getting scared. After he stabbed Sasuke's eye too in chapter 55, in chapter 53, you could tell in chapter 55 he was scared, and he kept having flashbacks. Even Kawaki said, stop being scared and man up to it. You know, stuff happened, it happened. And then Sasuke's like, it's not your fault either. So you could tell Boruto is gonna get more mature now. He's scared that Momoshiki might control him, which is why he goes to train. And I guess maybe Code comes maybe this chapter or maybe next chapter, something's gonna go down again with Code. And then it says Naruto calls the 5-Cage Summit. Another thing to this can be the same thing to Naruto Shippuden when they had the Cage Summit. And Sasuke and Obito came, and Sasuke fought all the cages, and then Obito showed his plan with the, you know, the Moon Sharingan and all that type of stuff. It might be something similar, where Kawaki comes and he's like, I have an army of androids that are way stronger than anybody you've ever faced. And I guess when he says that, all the cages take action against him, and if Code is stronger than, like, if it said here that Code is pretty strong, we know something's up with this, all right? We know something is lurking along the corners. We don't know how it's going to go down. Something dangerous is coming, that's all I can say, with Code saying this and that. And I guess when Kawaki said the age of shinobi's over, it could possibly be the whole entire world of shinobi's over. All right, there's a reason why Code goes to that person named Ada to learn more about the world, or talk to her or whatever. There's something to do with the whole world, not just the village. I know the village was destroyed in the beginning, but there's probably a bigger picture here. And Code might show himself in front of the 5 cages, and he might declare, you know, the 5th Great Ninja War. We don't know. We're going to see how it goes down. But yeah, this is the spoilers, and this is me giving some predictions on maybe what's going to happen. And I wanted to talk about why the anime manga are showing characters back and forth. They're predicting a lot of stuff. Like I said, with Samir being on the cover, there's a reason for that. She's probably going to play a bigger role in this. And like I said, her Kawaki may get closer, and we're going to see how it goes down. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe. Stay tuned for my future videos.